Welcome back to Triple Alpha Sports Talk. I'm Josh. That's Roy over there. No Bryce today. Couldn't get it off work again. So it's just going to be me and Roy for this episode. Big episode. It's number 30. We've hit 3-0. 30 weeks in a row, Roy. Haven't missed one.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. We're having a blast. Make sure if you're new here, you hit the subscribe button, comment, like, share with your friends. Merch is soon. I got an update the other day, last weekend. They're working on it, so
okay.
So it should be done soon. I've already been in contact with them, so merch is on its way. Yeah, I think we're just going to jump right on to our MLB draft that we had. Bryce is not here, but I will update you on the stats. Roy, the standings have not changed. Roy's in last. He has 151 total wins. The Rangers have really slowed down this month. The Red Sox have also not been very good.
This last week, I didn't even get one win.
Yeah, the Red Sox have not been very good since he picked them up. Not horrible, but not, great. They've kind of came back down to earth. And the Dodgers are on a 5-game losing streak, which they still have 33 wins, so you'll take it. I think they won today, so I think they actually have 34, but this was all as of last night for us. Second place is Bryce with 172, so he's got 21 over Roy. So Roy really is in the cellar at the moment.
Oh, bad right now.
And Bryce is scorching hot with the Orioles and the Yankees. The A's have really been a disappointment for Bryce since he added him last month, and the Cubs have also really slowed down from their hot start. So even with the really good Yankees and Orioles, he's kind of not accelerated, and that's led me to be in first still. And I've still been pretty quiet. The Braves have been quiet the last month. The Reds have been one of the worst teams in baseball, but the Guardians continue to win. The Phillies have the most wins in baseball. So we're really we each have like one or two teams that are kind of struggling a little bit, but I have a 181, so I'm 9 ahead of Bryce. So
you and Bryce had that one team that just keep winning. I mean, you got the Phillies keep winning, and he's got the Yankees and they keep winning. So
exactly.
I don't have that team. So
no, Roy, your number one team is the Dodgers with 33. My best team is the Phillies with 38, and the Yankees have 18 wins this season alone, or this month alone, since Bryce has added them. So yeah, I mean, and Bryce also has the Royals down at the bottom as a tier 3 team with 34, which is more than anyone on your team. So yeah, he's got some good teams. For the month of June, Roy, we are going to do portions of the draft right here. Roy is on the clock at number 1 to update. Now, this won't go live, like the changes, for about another, 3 or 4 days. But I can still write him down. Roy will be on the clock with the first pick since he's in last again. So, Roy, you have freedom to choose any team and drop any team, but we won't know Bryce's yet. We're going to try to see if we can get to him through the phone right now. But right now, Roy's up to make any changes he wants for next month.
Yeah, I am going to get rid of the Tigers. That's the first team.
Okay.
They're struggling. And I am going to pick up the San Francisco Giants.
So you're adding the Giants back after a month off.
Yeah. They've kind of picked it up and gotten hot and started playing better.
Okay. And you're getting rid of the Tigers.
Yeah. All
right. That one will go into effect in about 3 or 4 days, so I won't officially change it. But we're going to hit the pause button on the draft because Bryce is up next, and I'm not sure if Bryce is going to make any changes, but if he does, I think the only team he would move out is the A's.
Yeah.
So it'd be a tier 3 team. So does he want the Angels, Rockies, White Sox, or Marlins? He might just test his luck. I mean,
just keep the. I know those
yeah.
teams are
So
really
he might
good.
not make any changes.
The tier 3 teams aren't very good.
Yeah, I only plan to make one change, and my team is still on the board. So you did not take the team that I was going to go for. So I won't give it away, but I will.
I have a feeling I know who you're going to take, and I wrestled with taking them. So
yeah, I will be making a change. So after that, we're just going to jump right into the MLB standings, and I'll go ahead and read these off. In the AL East, where we started off, the standings look pretty similar to last week, but it's gotten tighter. Yankees lead 37-18. Orioles game and a half back, 34-18. Boston, middle of the pack, 27-27. Tampa Bay still hanging on 26-28. And the Toronto Blue Jays in the cellar at 24-29. Then to the AL Central, we have two hot teams. Guardians 36-18. Royals 2.5 back, 34-21. Twins 29-24, one of the streakiest teams I've seen in a long time. Long win streaks, long losing streaks. In fourth place, the Detroit Tigers, still about 500, 26-27. And the White Sox, one of the bottom feeders of baseball, 15-40. In the West for the American League, Seattle still holds number one at 29-26. Not a great record for a first place team. Texas, after a really bad week, 25-29. Kind of shocking to see them 4 games under 500. Here come the Houston Astros. They're cheating, I think. 24-30. Only 4.5 back of the lead, though, with that record. Oakland 22-33 after another bad week, and the Angels are still in the cellar at 20-33. Only 8 games back, however, though, so really not out of the distance, but they're just not that good. Over on the National League side in the NL East, best record in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies, 38-17. The Atlanta Braves behind them, 6 games back, kind of shocking at this point, but 30-21. Nationals 24-28. The Mets 22-30, and the Marlins 19-36. In the Central, things get tighter. Milwaukee still has the lead. It's growing a little bit, 31-22 losses. But after a really horrid week, the Chicago Cubs 27-27, 4.5 back. The St. Louis Cardinals 25-27, only a game back of the Cubs. Pittsburgh 25-29, only a game back of the Cardinals. And the Cincinnati Reds, after pretty much an abysmal month of baseball, 24-30, only a game back of Pittsburgh. So second place in this division to fifth place is 3 games? Yeah. So Central gotten a lot tighter. And then out west, the Dodgers, after another bad week this week, 33-22, still have a 5-game lead. San Francisco 28-27, good week for them. San Diego 29-28. 5 games back. Arizona, 25-28, 7 games back. And the Colorado Rockies, another bottom feeder, 19-34. Oh, that was a mouthful. Yeah. All right. Roy, when you look at the standings, what jumps out to you from this week?
There are 2 things that I mean, you just look at, like you just said, the NL Central. I mean, how tight that has gotten.
Yeah.
I mean, 31 for Milwaukee. That's not a big lead. You're only 4.5 over the Cubs. This is a division that could go. I mean, a good week to a good 2 weeks, you're in first place.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's starting to. I mean, this week they started to look better.
Winner of 4 straight at the moment.
They're starting to look a lot better. Pittsburgh they're kind of remind me of Minnesota, streaky. I'm not as good as Minnesota, but they look good. The surprise teams, the Cubs, are just how bad they've been the last week and a half. They got swept.
Ice cold at the plate. They can't hit a ball right now.
Oh, I know I can't. And I was down there for the Cardinals. I know you guys were down there for the Cardinals in this game, or Cardinals and Cubs game.
Yeah.
Their pitching didn't do too bad. I mean, you give up a couple home runs to Goldschmidt. The Cardinals are getting hotter. Their bats are getting hotter, and their pitching has actually been pretty good. So that's the first thing you see. And in the West, how bad is the AL West? I mean, usually the NL Central or AL Central is really bad, but the West, I mean, Astros looked horrible in April. They're starting to kind of find their groove. They're not winning a bunch in a row, but Kyle Tucker, those guys are starting to really. Their pitching is what struggles. Their pitching figured out. This team, I mean, they were bad. I mean, they were what they started off 1-9 or 1
something like that. Yeah,
and now they're 24-30, and they're only 4.5 games out of first. That just shows how bad that division is. The Mariners, who has pitching, but for some reason, and Julio Rodriguez is hot, playing really well, but then the rest of them can't do anything. It's just the Texas Rangers won't surprise me. They just can't do anything. I mean, they're just not. The wheels are starting to fall. Their hitting's not been good, other than Corey Seager. The rest of them are falling. The pitching has been absolutely horrible. And these two divisions are just not what you expect for baseball.
Yeah. I mean, when I look at the things, I'm going to talk about the NL Central later, so I'll skip over them. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the AL West. It just has to be. I mean, Houston. What were they like? 10 and 22 or something like that.
Man, they were terrible. I mean, I want to say they started 1-9 and then they won like 3 or 4 in a row, and then I think they got to 10-25 maybe or something.
Yeah, I mean, and you would think after that start, yes, you can lose the division in April, but even at that case, they're not like 20 games under 500, 30 games under 500. So, but no team took advantage. I mean, Texas, they started off okay. I mean, they were good the first month for the most part. Not great, but they were okay. But no one has taken this division and ran. And you look at Seattle, I mean, they got the pitching to beat anybody. I mean, Logan Gilbert, they just got Brian Wu back, George Kirby, Luis Castillo. I mean, they got guys you could throw out in a playoff game and you'd be all happy. I mean, they just can't hit a baseball. I mean, I'm looking at this AL West, and I don't think I've ever seen this in my entire life before. Run differential, which that's to me how teams, it can be flawed a little bit, but for the most part, good teams are going to have good run differential. Every single team in the American League West has a negative run differential.
Yeah.
The best one is the Astros at -5, and that tells me they just keep losing the close games because their bullpen was so bad the first month.
At one point, they were negative like 20 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. It was
bad. But outside of that, I look at the AL Central. I mean, you look at the Guardians and have 36 wins, and the Royals having 34. Now, I don't think anyone would say the Guardians or the Royals are better than the Yankees or the Orioles.
No.
But because they play in a weaker division where they can just absolutely beat up on the White Sox. I mean, you look at Kansas City, their first month, I think they beat the White Sox 8 times, like easily. Those records are going to help them get better seedings in the playoffs over the Yankees or the Orioles, whoever wins the division. I mean, these teams are shooting. They have a legitimate shot at a 1 seed. I mean, the Yankees and the Orioles still have to play each other a lot. They're going to beat up on each other a little bit as long as it doesn't go one-sided or one of the teams doesn't go on like a 2-month heater where they don't lose. Because you look at the Yankees, they've been red hot the last month. And I thought the Orioles were pretty red hot at the end of last month into the beginning of this month. They've cooled down since. You look at Kansas City or Cleveland, they could legitimately just beat up on the White Sox and their division outside of the other one, like the Guardians not beating up on the Royals. And they could take a 1 seed, even though they're not the best team in baseball on the American League side. So I find that interesting.
Like you said, the AL Central. I mean, the Tigers are what surprised me. I mean, I really thought they had something going at the end of the year last year. I really thought this year they're gonna, that young group and with those veterans, they're gonna be really good. And they have not done anything I thought.
No.
And Kansas City and Guardians have just been consistent. Now, I mean, and been beating teams the way they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
When you say the AL East, the Yankees, I thought really had a tough schedule coming into May.
So did I.
I thought, crap, they're going to probably finish about 500, and then it's probably what we're going to be seeing. And I mean, like you said, 18 wins already in this month.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just tearing it up.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees they're playing well. I mean, Juan Soto's still Juan Soto. He's not as great as he was the first month. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to do that. I mean, you look at the month that Aaron Judge has had offensively. I mean, he's been the best hitter in baseball for the last month. It's not even close. So you put that with Juan Soto playing well, Volpe with an 18-game hitting streak. He's just on base for all these home runs, these solo shots that we're used to Judge hitting. They're 2-run shots now.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the way the pitching staff is pitched, 2 runs wins you a baseball game. So
they have the number 1 pitching staff right now.
It's not even close. I mean, Boston,
I couldn't believe it.
Boston had it early because they were lights out so that's why they were winning games. But they've come down to earth now. I mean, but yeah. But I mean, that's really all I had. I'm going to talk about the NL Central later a little bit, but I don't have anything else other than those standings. I think we're going to jump into the Players of the Week. Roy, you want to talk about the Players of the Week?
All right, so you got the NL Player of the Week is Luis Arraeza from San Diego Padres. I mean, the guy that both of us really wanted for the Yankees. I mean, I watched the 3-game series against the Yankees and Padres. I think he got on base 3 of the 4 times every time he was in the bat. Yeah. I mean, he was just he doesn't. I mean, no doubles or he gets hits. He just hits singles and gets on base. Well, he finished the week with a 17 for 36, batting .472. That included a home run, 4 RBIs, and only 1 strikeout. I mean, I'm surprised he got the 1 home run. I didn't even know he ever hit one. Yeah. So, but 4 RBIs. The AL Player of the Week is Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, the guy's been a stud for Kansas City on a very good Kansas City team. In 6 games this past week, Witt batted .385 with 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 6 runs with an 1.356 OPS. I mean, he's been tearing it up and guiding that team. So,
I mean, when it comes to a rise, I mean, he's exactly what you think he is. He doesn't strike out, puts the ball in play, gets on base. Probably the best pure like contact hitter that I've seen, and that I've been alive. I mean, all the guy does is hit. Has no power, but he doesn't try to be. So
no,
perfect leadoff hitter.
Like I said, when I watched him, and I know there were both the 2 games that they lost, he got on base both times. The first 2 got hit singles the first 2 times in each game, and got stranded. I mean, with guys like Tatis and Machado and those guys behind him, and you couldn't even get a run. I mean, he was getting on base every time, and you couldn't get him across. I mean, that just shows how. I mean, he's a consistent hitter, and how bad the Padres just can't. Their star players can't hit right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not playing at the level that they were used to the last few years. I mean, you kind of saw it last year. I mean, they had Bogarts, Machado, Soto, Tatis. I mean, that 1 through 4. I mean, at the end of the day, is as good as it's ever going to get in baseball in today's game, and they just didn't produce. So it just didn't work. It's why you can't always look at paper to see who has the best team. I mean, you look at the Guardians. All right, you look at the Guardians roster. That team should be 500. I mean, it just should.
Oh, yeah.
But
I can only name probably 3 players on the team.
Yeah. So I mean, and in Bobby Witt's case, I mean, it's his 3rd full season baseball. First year was just an average rookie, wasn't great, showed flashes. Last year's his breakout, and then he gets paid in the offseason. What are you going to do? The Royals reward him basically by giving him an extension and then, getting veteran pitchers. And it's crazy what happens when you add some veteran pitching into a team full of youth because, I mean, I don't think the Royals are really, scoring 15 runs a game. It's not like they're winning because of only, the stacked lineup. It's good pitching and it's timely hitting. And that's what you need from Kansas City. You get a young superstar, and he's producing every night, in and out. I mean, he has like 15 stolen bases on top of that. He really hits doubles. He didn't even hit that many home runs, but yeah, he's a heck of a player.
Yep, he's a good player.
I think that's just going to roll us into our talking points. Roy, I'll let you go first.
The first thing I really want to talk about is Cunha Jr.'s injury. I mean, yeah, that's just, I mean, for one of the top players in baseball to have an injury like that, for a team that is, expected to be, in, a chance to be in the World Series, they probably expect to be, 100 wins, probably be a good team. They're still a good team. I mean, I talked to a Braves fan the other day about it, and he made the comment, hey, last time the outfielder got hurt, they won the World Series. So
it's true.
You never know. But, with him and Strider both being down, I mean, they're just injuries are just piling up for them. They got a lot of young talent, which is helping them. Because I made the comment to him, hey, you just probably got somebody in the minor leagues that are just probably going to pile up and just be a stud anyway. So, but he didn't like that. I mean, which I don't blame him. I mean, I would like to play your best player and replace him with guys who probably never got 5 at bats in major league.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just sad you see these injuries happen like that, especially this is the second one he's had.
It's the opposite knee.
The opposite knee.
Yeah.
And that usually happens when you have one surgery on one and then you
favor the other one
along and then you end up tearing the other one. So it's just it's never good when you see a non-contact injury and you go down. I mean, it's heartbreaking. I hate when you see good players go down, especially for good teams.
That's exactly. I mean, you're gonna see land in the playoffs, and at the end of the day, you want to see Ronald Acuna out. You want to see every team at their best because you don't want to go through the. Let's say the Phillies get them first round and they win. They go, oh, we didn't have Ronald. Of course we lost. Or Spencer Strider. Yeah. Well, then it just takes away from it. You want to beat these teams that are good, and it's good for baseball. I mean, Ronald Acuna last year stole 73 bases and hit 40 home runs.
Oh yeah,
it's electric to watch that. He's not playing anymore for the rest of the year, and it's just going to hurt. Just the game of baseball. I mean, you're going to, like you said, you're going to call up someone like maybe Jared Kelenic gets full playing time in the outfield now out there in Atlanta. Yeah. At the end of the day, he's not Ronald Acuna. He's never going to be. So it makes the team worse, which I almost hurt more for the team than I do the player because, at the end of the day, you build a team knowing you have certain players in certain positions, and losing one can completely change and alter how the team views their season. So it sucks, but injuries happen. But yeah, the Braves they're starting to pile, And they're so talented and deep that I don't think it's going to hurt them as much as it would other teams. But this is where you start to get in that territory where it might not be this year. Look at the Phillies.
They're going to be looking at trading for somebody. You went in thinking, oh, I have this lineup set now. Injuries are piling up, and you're sitting there going, okay, trade dead. You're just trying to bide your time to trade deadline to get maybe a player that will help step in and help you at least for the short term.
Yeah, like a cheap veteran 1-year deal, because Ronald will be back next year at some point. So you're just trying to get something to help you for the playoffs.
And then the other thing I want to talk about was it's the hot teams. I mean, you're looking at the San Francisco Giants, 8-2 in the last week, in the last 10 games. We talked about the Guardians and Royals. Guardians were 9-1 last week in the last 10 games, and Royals are 8-2.
Yeah.
The Giants are finally starting to figure out they got some injuries, but then they start replacing with players who are they're just got a bunch of role players just doing what they're doing and pitching. So then that's what they needed to be done. And we already talked about the Guardians and Royals. So it's just funny to watch because I really thought I got rid of them last month because they did not look good last week.
No.
But they're starting to turn around, starting to play better baseball. They're 5.5 games out of the Dodgers. If Dodgers don't watch out and start playing some good baseball, then they might be looking up at a team. So
I find it funny with the Giants. They're coming in off a hot week, starting to look better now. That's with Jung-Ho Lee done for the year, didn't play at all this week.
Yeah,
that's their big boy free agent signing Blake Snell with a 10 ERA. He just looks awful right now. Yeah. And he came out in an interview and said, I didn't face a live batter until my first game of the year. He didn't pitch all offseason really.
He's waiting for him.
Yeah, so they're doing that without their key players. Jung-Ho Lee ain't coming back. Don't get me wrong, not this year, but Blake Snell has to be better eventually. Even if it's in August, Blake Snell's too good of a pitcher. He's gonna find his key starts in there. And then you look at the Guardians and the Royals. Guardians I feel like this is the same Guardians team that they've been the last 5 years. They just win baseball games.
Yeah,
the close games, they're gritty. Josh Naylor's having an MVP type year. He probably won't win, but he's putting up those kind of hitting numbers, and they just get on base and they just pitch well. They've always pitched well forever.
And then the Royals, that's what they're known. Giants are known for pitching and just having timely hitting, and they always have that one guy like Hunter Pence or somebody who just puts the ball in play, and the next thing he's got a double, and then he has a halfway swing and it hits a home run. They always have that one guy like that.
Yeah, and then
the other two
we've talked about the Royals and the Whites or the Guardians. So, all right, what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the NL Central a little bit more of a deep dive, because you look at the NL Central. We all agree that the Brewers are playing better than they should, but at this point, are we at the point where we have to admit that the Brewers are better than they're better than we thought they are? Okay, that is obvious, but are they a legit contender in the NL? In the NL, I'll say. Yes, they're not as good as the Phillies, Dodgers, or Braves probably, but at this rate, they're probably going to win the Central if they keep playing like they will. Plus 49 run differential. The next best is the Cubs at -7. Are the Brewers legit, or are they just finding luck?
Right now, you'd have to say they're legit. They've actually done. They've looked. I looked at some. I watched a couple of their games. They look like a team that can. They have a bunch of players. I don't really know a lot of them anymore. They still got some of the guys like Christian Yelich and all them, but their pitching staff just eats innings. They don't like. It's not like they do anything spectacular, and then they got guys who hit the ball. They're just doing what they're supposed to do, and they've surprised me. I really thought they would take a big drop. I think they're right now. Because none of the other 4 teams have really shown that they can win consistently. No. I thought the Cubs would, but they've fallen back. The Cardinals are right now, but early in the year they look like crap. So Cincinnati's kind of on their way up. Do any of these teams really in the next step to take the next step? And that's my concern. I don't really see any of the other 4 teams right now consistently being contenders with Milwaukee, because Milwaukee is consistently winning. So that's all they're doing, and that's what they need to do.
I agree. Milwaukee 13-9 at home, not great, but you'll take it. I mean, I guess they're 18-13 on the road. So you can't say they're only winning at home. They're 12-12 against teams better than 500, so they don't even have a losing record. The only team in the division without a losing record against teams above 500. I mean, yeah. I mean, you look at the last month of series. They lose a series to the Cubs first week of May. They lose a series to Kansas City, both series 2-1. Then they sweep St. Louis. Oh no, I lied. They beat St. Louis 3-4. Then they beat Pittsburgh 2-3. Then they lose to Houston 2-3. Lose to Miami 2-3. And then beat Boston 2-3. So actually, it's really not that great of a month, I guess. The more I look at it, but
you look at it, they're not getting swept. I mean,
no.
Then that's. I mean, you're winning a few. That's the whole goal. You want to win a series, and then you win the next series. They won 2 series. They lost the series. Lost 2 series, and then they won a series. So it's not like but they didn't get swept in any of the series. So they're still winning consistently to keep them in the game. I mean, they haven't. I mean, I look at their first month. That's where I looked at April. I mean, they played Baltimore, the Yankees, Tampa, and Chicago. I mean, they in Kansas City, all in those months, and Seattle. So they played a tough schedule. So it's not like they've been just playing Miami's and it seems like that. But they've just done enough to win. So.
And the middle has really gotten tight. I mean, you look at the Cubs; they've lost 5 straight, and they were clearly the second best team in this division. I still think they are the second best team in this division, but it's definitely closer now. Cardinals starting to play a little bit well. Only got 2 games against Chicago, but did beat them both with Goldie really heating up in the 2 games. Pittsburgh seems like a wild card. Seems like they play well some weeks and don't. And Cincinnati, kind of a roller coaster. Good first month, awful second month, and now they've won 4 straight here at the back end of the month. Which of these teams do you think can really rival the Brewers and give them a good run?
I don't know. I mean, I really thought with the Cubs pitching, I really thought that was the team that probably could do more damage because their pitching is really good. But their hitting is not as. I mean, they can't hit the ball.
No.
The Cardinals, their veterans aren't really hitting till this last few weeks. So maybe that their pitching's just. I thought that the Cardinals pitching would be. They're just eating innings. That's what they do. They pitch well enough to eat innings, and that's what and keep you in the game. But they're not winning games because they're not scoring runs.
Yeah,
Cincinnati is the most electric team on the board, but they just
easily.
They look. I watched a couple of their games this last 2 weeks. They look really good for like 4 or 5 innings, and then look like shit. For a while. It's just they're confusing. I mean, I know they're young, so young players, go highs and lows real easy. That's the most electric team, but they're not showing it. So you can't really count them right now because I really thought they might take the next step, and they're not. That's the biggest problem. And Pittsburgh, I never believed Pittsburgh can do anything. They just ride the ride till they start giving away players. So
I think Pittsburgh is clearly the worst team in this division, despite the record. However, I do think they have a lot of potential. I mean, you look at Paul Skeens, his first 3 starts. I mean, that guy's unhittable. Jared Jones, I don't know a lot about. I had heard he throws hard and he's really good. He's got like a 2.80 ERA in his last 5 starts. He had a couple rough starts in the beginning, but apparently they are really excited for that 1-2 punch. Their hitting prospects have not come along. I mean, you look at O'Neal Cruz, I feel like he's been the same player the last 4 years. At least he's staying healthy this year, but they need a little bit more help. But I agree. Cincinnati has the most firepower, but see, this is what I was worried about, and I predicted them to finish 4th, and they're doing exactly what I thought. Those young players are really hot last year, and that's why they look so good. But once the league makes an adjustment on them, can they adjust? Ellie De La Cruz seems to make adjustments. He's got a respectable 220, 230, which that's fine for a young player. It's okay. Yeah. Home runs, steals. It's all the other ones that aren't making the adjustment, hitting the 200, 180s. I don't think they have any leadership. Their pitching staff isn't great. I mean, Hunter Green's good. Frankie Montas has been okay, not great for him, but outside of that, it's been pretty bad.
Pretty bad lately. So
yeah. So I don't know. I still think I think the Cubs overall, once they start hitting, I think they're just all cold at the same time, which it happens. I think the Cubs, but I also think their pitching is going to take a little bit of a regression. I don't think all their starters are going to have a below 1 ERA.
Yeah, no.
I still think the Cardinals, though, if I'm going to pick any of the Reds, Pirates, or Cardinals, just to do the fact that, like you said, their pitchers eat innings. They have a Lance Lynn who's not great, but he knows how to pitch at least. You look at Kyle Gibson; he's been pretty good since he came back from his injury. You look at Michaelis; I think that's one of their worst ones, but their bullpen's been pretty good. I mean, you look at Helsley at the back end; he's got lead league in saves, even though they make him sketchy sometimes, kind of like a Yankee reliever. Oh. But you look at Arenado has not hit.
No,
Goldie has not hit. Goldie is finally starting to hit. It seems like he's finally getting the power back a little bit.
Yeah.
This team, they get on base, but it's kind of the same thing with the Cubs we talk about. They lack that bopper because they don't really have one. But they seem to be playing better. Mason Wins looked really good at shortstop offensively, and he can steal bases. Nootbaar seems to be really good in that 2-hole, get a lot of doubles, find the home run, but it's just consistency with the Cardinals that has really hurt them. They look like the Cardinals they should, and then they have a really bad game they can't hit. So NL Central's inconsistent, but
yeah,
I don't think I have anything else. Do you?
No.
Okay, that's going to take me. Roy, this is not my game. This is a question, and I want you to just listen to me, okay? I don't know if you've seen it or not. Have you seen it on the script? Okay, it's on the script. No, don't look at it. I'll tell you. These two players play the same position, okay?
Okay.
Player A has played – this season, and they are both in their third season in baseball, okay? Both of them, they're not the same age, but like time frame, they've played the same. Player A is 23 years old. Player B is 22, so player A is a year older. Both been in the league the same amount. Player A, 55 games, 67 hits, 9 homers, 36 RBIs, 16 stolen bases. He's hitting 309 with an on-base of 366 with an on-base plus slugging of 4. I think that's just slugging. That might be both. 558. Player B, a year younger, 52 games, so 3 less, 52 hits, but 17 home runs, 37 RBIs, and 27 stolen bases. And I'll put the graphic on the screen so you guys can see it.
I'm looking at it, right? You said it says 7 on here, stolen bases. 27 or 7?
Oh, 7. I lied. Not 27.
Okay, 7.
7 stolen bases. When you look at those, what player do you think you would rather have?
I am different than what baseball analytics do today. I would do player A because I like the hits. I like the stolen bases because that means he's putting the ball and he's getting 67 hits. So he's putting the ball in play, getting hits, getting on base, and he's stealing. He's putting himself in scoring position. That's the way I grew up on baseball. I love baseball that way. I wish more players were like that. The 309 average, that it's like unheard of now to have 300 average. I like guys who will do that. I mean, I just enjoy. They want that big. They want the show, the big launch angle and all that. But I mean, player 2 is not a bad player. I mean,
no,
260, 52 hits. That's not bad. I'm just, if I was just choosing a player for me, I would choose player A.
Okay, I do agree. I looked at this before I found out who the players were, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I look at the on-base percentage. They're almost identical, 366, 359. Yeah. So I don't really care how you get on base as long as you get on base. That's what I care about that more than I do the hits. So I looked at that and I said, okay, they're pretty similar. Then I learned who the players were, so I kind of looked at the numbers a little differently. RBI-wise, player B is a leadoff hitter. Player A hits in the 2-hole. So the 2-hole, even though the player B has more home runs, so I figured he would have more RBIs, he has a lot of solo shots. But that's not his fault. He's hitting leadoff. But then I looked at the stolen bases, and that gives me a little bit more, when you have someone on first, we both know this, when you have someone on first base that can run, that messes with a pitcher. Yes. He's ball over the middle. Even if he's not running, it's just the thought. It doesn't hurt. I'd much rather have someone like Volpe on base than Anthony Rizzo because they aren't worried.
Yeah.
I also agree. I took player A. Do you have any guesses on these players?
Man, I was trying to think of that.
I can give you a position to help.
Player A, is that Dela Cruz?
That is not Ellie De La Cruz. You are correct in the position, though. These are shortstops.
Because this is right now, right? 17. Who has
right?
17?
This is this season.
The only one I know has 17 home runs is Judge and Kyle Tucker.
You're missing one.
Though.
There's 3 people in the. At the moment, I know it's early. Yeah. The home run race. It's 3 people.
God dang it!
Tucker, Judge, and blank. Player B.
Is Bobby Witt Jr. one of these?
Bobby Witt is player A. So you chose Bobby Witt Jr.
Like I thought that's who I thought of when I was thinking Bobby Witt, number 22. Man, 22 years old. That's gonna piss me off because I don't know who.
Yeah, you'll get pissed.
Just go ahead and tell me.
Player B is Gunnar Henderson.
Oh, he has 17 home runs.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you chose to pick Bobby Witt over Gunnar Henderson. Now, do you still think that, knowing the players? If you were to make a team, would you pick Bobby Witt over Gunnar Henderson? Or does now it make you think, oh, damn, didn't know
because they're both defensively the same. I like the way Bobby Witt plays the game. Gunnar Henderson's good. They just Orioles expect him to do something different than what Bobby Witt. So, no, Gunnar Henderson. He's a hell of a leadoff guy. So, no, Bobby Witt Jr. I'd still take him right now. I'm not taking anything away from Gunnar because I think he'll be freaking a stud here. Awesome for the next 10 years. So, but no, I'd still take player A.
Gotcha. When I saw this, I did know that was Gunnar Henderson at B, but I still did it naturally. I wanted to see who. I had no idea who player A was, though. I had no clue. But I agree. I went with player A. Bobby Witt's home runs are accidents. They're not swings. Gunnar Henderson's swing hits home runs. So it works a little different. But, yeah, it's still too incredible. I'd love to have both of them.
Oh, heck yeah.
I think that's going to do us for baseball. I don't think I have anything else. Do you?
No. Sounds good.
Well, it's going to go to my lock, Bryce's game, and Roy's Old Man Wisdom / game. But I'm going to take Bryce's game, and Roy is going to do his Old Man Wisdom game.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do my lock of the week. And in this week, I'm going to go play some hockey. This is going to come out Wednesday for everybody. So the Dallas Stars are going to face Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton just lost a heartbreaker. I'm going to go Edmonton money line. I'm going to throw $25 on it. It pays $44.23. That's going to be my lock of the week. Last time I did hockey, I lost. So hopefully we change that.
Figure you might go with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. All right, Roy. You want to do your game first?
Yep. I'll do mine. Since last week I did baseball stadiums.
Yes.
I'm going to have you do all NFL stadiums. I'm going to give you their name. You got to tell me who plays there. Think you got them all?
I feel like I'm pretty good at this. Go ahead. You going to do all 30?
Yep. I'm going to do all 30.
32, however many there are.
32. I think there's 32.
There's 32.
Right. We'll start with, and I'm just going to go in alphabetical order here on the name of stadiums. Acrisure Stadium.
This is the Steelers' new one.
That is.
Okay.
Allegiant Stadium.
Raiders.
Yep. Well, you can
going there. Week 3.
Yep. Arrowhead.
Chiefs.
AT&T.
Jerry's World. The boys.
Whatever. Bank of America Stadium.
Vikings.
Wrong. Bank of America.
Whoa.
Bank of America Stadium.
Bank of America. Hold on. Oh, that's U.S. Bank. Bank of America. Maybe I don't know this one. Just tell me. Go ahead.
It'd be the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Caesars Superdome.
New Orleans.
Yep. Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Huh?
You know that. I said the Cleveland Browns Stadium.
First Energy.
No, that's what they are. That's the Cleveland Browns Stadium's named Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Really? They changed it. It used to be called First Energy Stadium.
That's what it is.
Huh. Wonder if they got rid of it. What'd you say?
Commanders Field.
Is that what it is? Commanders Field? Or are you asking me?
And I'm telling you, Commanders Field is the stadium's name. Who is it?
See, they're changing the names. I thought it was FedEx Field.
No, that's the old stadium.
Oh, okay. Commanders.
Empire Field at Mile High.
Oh, Denver.
Yep. Everbank Stadium.
Man, did they all get new names?
Some of these I didn't know. I was going through them. I was like, man, did not know they changed their names to these.
They are changing their names because these are not what I have in my head.
Sponsors, but they're sponsored by.
I know.
So
Everbank. Baltimore.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I was gonna say that too, and I didn't think it was right.
Ford Field.
Detroit.
Gillette.
New England.
Hard Rock Stadium.
Miami.
Yep. Highmark Stadium.
Fuck, I know Highmark. Oh, Buffalo.
Yep. Lambeau.
Green Bay.
Levi Stadium.
Fucking 49ers.
Lincoln Financial.
Fucking Phillies. Or Eagles.
Lucas Oil.
Or Colts.
Yep. Lumen Field.
Seattle.
M&T Bank Stadium.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Atlanta. Kirko Chains is home.
MetLife.
New York. Giants Jets.
Yeah. Nissan.
I think this is one of the worst stadiums I've seen. Tennessee.
Yeah, they're trying to build a new one, aren't they?
They are building a new one.
All right. NRG Stadium.
Texans.
Paycor Stadium.
Oh. Paycor?
Paycor.
Ooh, that's a new one. That's not my vocabulary. Who have I not named? I don't have a clue.
AFC Central.
AFC Central? You mean there's no Central. North.
Or AFC North.
No, not the Browns, not the Steelers, not the Ravens. Bengals?
Yep, Bengals Stadium.
Wow.
Raymond James Stadium.
Tampa Bay. Good-looking stadium, by the way.
I've seen it.
Good-looking stadium.
SoFi.
Rams Chargers.
Rams Chargers. Soldier Field.
Bears. Boo.
State Farm.
Cardinals.
And then U.S. Bank.
Minnesota.
Yep. So
I'll tell you what, they've changed some of those because I thought the Commanders was still FedEx Field. I thought the Carolina one I just got mixed up and couldn't think. That one I did know. The Paycon one or Paycom or whatever you called it, I had never heard that yet.
Paycor or whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah, Paycor, that's it. That was hard.
They all changed freaking same names just for the advertisements, money.
Yeah. The first big one that I remembered getting changed was Pittsburgh because we went to Heinz Field. They had the ketchup bottles and all that. And then like a month later, they took the ketchup bottle off and they took it away. And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, that's Heinz Field forever. So.
I know. So, okay. I have a baseball one for you, Roy.
All right.
This is going to be hard. I'm not going to lie. Some of it will play into you, and I will give you the years, but this is going to be hard. And you only have 8 minutes. Okay?
Jeez, okay.
30. The quiz is MLB teams' last MVP. So 30 MLB teams.
Mm-hmm. I have to name all their last MVPs.
Each team's most previous MVP. It has the years next to it, so I will read you the name. I'll go this team year, and I will give. I don't know how they're going to do it. The Rays don't have one. The Mets don't have one. The Diamondbacks don't have one.
The Mets don't have an MVP.
Wow. It says NA on it. So those 3 teams. I'm assuming you're just going to get right.
Who's the last one?
Diamondbacks.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they're just going to give you 3 correct right when I hit start.
I guess.
Would it be easier if you could see my screen? Do you think it'd be easier? So you could see it and look around, or do you just want to? I think it might be.
I'm just gonna go.
Okay.
All right. I probably won't get all these right, but
okay.
So
I will.
So I just need to start with a team, right? Any team.
Here, do you want me to name you? Go by teams or like most recent, like years?
Just go by teams because I'm not. I don't even remember who wins awards anymore.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The Atlanta Braves, first team, 2023.
I'm gonna say Ronald Acuna.
Correct. Baltimore Orioles, 1991.
Ooh, 91.
You only have 8 minutes, so I wouldn't wait so long on teams.
Cal Ripken Jr.
If I don't think so.
Damn it. 91. Pass. I can't even think of. 91.
Oh, it was Ripken. It was okay. I got it. It was Ripken. Red Sox, 18.
Mookie Betts.
Correct. Chicago Cubs, 2016.
2016. God. Chris Bryant.
Correct. White Sox, 2020.
Who did
COVID year. Shortened season.
Luis Roberts, or
nope. I know this
Abreu.
one. So
Abreu.
Yes, correct. I don't know how to spell it, but I'll get it. Reds, 2010.
I have no guess on 2010. Who is it?
Guardians, 1953.
Guardians, 1953.
Or Indians. I mean, yeah.
Shit. I have no guess. 53. I couldn't even tell.
Rockies, 1997.
I am going to Matt Holliday. No, 97.
No.
97. Gosh, I had third baseman. That was really good. Todd Helton.
No.
Pass. I don't know.
Tigers, 2013.
Miguel Cabrera.
That is correct. I don't know how to spell Cabrera yet, but I know that's correct. Houston Astros, 2017.
Your boy, Jose Altuve.
Oh, yeah. That's correct. Kansas City Royals, 1980.
George Brett.
Correct. Angels, 2023.
Otani.
It's correct. How do I not spell that right?
Ohtani. Oh, Otani. Oh, there's an N in there.
Oh, I flipped. Okay. Dodgers, 2019.
2019 Dodgers. Justin Turner? No.
No, I can tell you that's wrong.
Cody Bellinger?
Oh, I think you're right. It is correct. Brewers, 2018.
Christian Yelich? No, I don't think he wanted that.
It is Christian Yelich.
Jeez.
Miami Marlins, 2017.
Stanton would have been the last one, wasn't it?
Correct. Twins, 2009.
Joe Mauer?
Correct. Yankees, 2022.
Aaron Judge.
Correct. Athletics, 2002.
Miguel Tejada.
Ooh, how do you spell that?
Tejada. Tejada.
Tejada. Correct. Phillies, 2021.
Bryce Harper.
Correct. You also got Nationals correct because that was their last auto-populated. Yeah. Pirates, 2013.
Pirates, 2013. Gosh, pass. I'll come back.
Okay. Padres, 96.
Ken Caminiti.
How do you spell that?
I don't know. Caminiti? Caminetti? I don't know. Caminati. Caminetti. Ken Caminetti.
I'll pass. I'll let you know. If you get it right, I'll give it to you. If not, I'll go back to it. Mariners 2001.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Ooh.
Not right.
Not correct.
2001.
Correct.
Alex Rodriguez.
I don't think so.
Damn, 2001. 2001. Edgar Martinez.
Well, I'm trying A-Rod again. Nope, not Alex.
Try Edgar Martinez.
Nope.
Damn. Pass right now. 2001.
Giants 2012.
Buster Posey.
I think so. Correct. Oh, I skipped the Cardinals 2022.
2022.
Yep.
Paul Goldschmidt.
Yep. Rangers 2010.
Gosh dang it. Nelson Cruz.
No.
2010.
I think I know this one. Yeah, it's not Cruz. I know who this is.
It's gonna irritate me. I know.
And your last one is Blue Jays 2015.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. I don't think that's
No.
20. Jose Batista.
I don't think so.
2015.
I'll type it in. No. Who was the Padres guy you said?
Ken Caminetti.
Kim Caminetti.
And let's say the Blue Jays, and then I missed. Who were the last two? Blue Jays and
Blue Jays Rangers.
You said Rangers 2010.
Correct.
Gosh dang it! I can picture that team, and
Kim Caminetti was correct.
Okay, I could picture the team from 2010, and I can't. Gee, many.
You have Reds, Guardians, Reds in 2010, Guardians old. Rockies 97. Pirates 2013.
Rockies 97. Rockies 97. Jeez. They had a third baseman. What was his freaking name? Oh, Larry Walker for Rockies.
Correct.
Damn. Gosh. Mariners, I should know. 2001.
The Pirates one is gettable. The Mariners one is gettable.
What was the Pirates year?
13.
McCutcheon?
Correct.
And then you said, and the Mariners was 2001.
Correct.
Go through 2001. It wasn't Griffey. It wasn't Ray Rod. Was it? Wasn't Jay Bruner. Wasn't. Gosh, I'm going through the. And you said the Blue Jays was 2001?
15.
Gosh, dang it.
3 seconds.
Oh, I'm not going to get any of those 3 seconds. I want.
Oh, yeah. Wow. 2010 Reds, Joey Votto.
Oh, man.
I couldn't believe you didn't get that. That's the only name I would have been able to guess, and that's it.
That didn't cross my mind.
The only miss that you missed that you're going to feel okay with is the Guardians. Al Rosen. I don't even know who that is.
I've heard the name, but 1953.
Seattle, 2001. Also Rookie of the Year, Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh, my gosh.
Rangers, I knew this one just because I read his book, 2010, Josh Hamilton.
I completely forgot about him.
And this one I actually forgot about. I don't know if I would have got this. Toronto Blue Jays, 2015, the bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson.
Oh, I forgot he was a.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head, I go, man, I don't know who that is. I only would have been able to get Votto, and I would have got it because that's the only guess I would have had. I would have guessed Ichiro. I would have got Hamilton. I would have gotten every one that you got except for one. Well, maybe two. I don't know if I would have got Mikel Tejada. I 100% would never got Cam Kiminetti. I don't even know who that is.
They were good. I just remember him being really good back then.
I couldn't believe that was right. And I think I would have got the rest. So I would have gotten Rosen and Suzuki. I might not have got Tejada, or I wouldn't have got Caminelli. So we might have tied. Because I'm not getting Rosen either, but I'm getting Hamilton and Votto. So we might have gotten the same score. You got an 83%, 25 out of 30. The average score is a 69%. So you know more about MVPs than most people.
Hey. I mean, it's just hard because I remember people win MVPs, but when the earliest, and I forget when, it's times have passed. Joey Votto just never even got in my head.
I don't know how. That's the only. When I think of the Reds, I think of two players: Pete Rose, Joey Votto. I don't know how that wasn't a guess, but.
And I remember, I know so many Reds: Chris Sabo, Eric Davis. I mean, guys you never even heard of. But the Nasty Boys. There was just so many going. I was trying to think of 2015, I was thinking for some reason shortstop or third base.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's going to do it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment if you're new. I think we might talk a little bit football next week. NFL schedules were released about a week ago. We haven't talked about it. I think we might bring it up next week. Hopefully our merch order is in, or at least have like a date when it will be in. It should be close because they've talked to me about it. Other than that, I don't think I have a whole lot. Roy, you got anything to add?
All right. Comment. We need some questions.
Yes.
We're more than welcome to answer anything you ask that's appropriate.
And we would like, if you'd like us to talk about something, if you leave a comment like, hey, talk about this next week, we would love to do it.
Okay, and we're not against bringing people on, too, to talk about things. So
hit the like button, subscribe, comment if you're new. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Gotta find my way to